Larry Hoover was born on November 30th, 1950 in Jackson, Mississippi. At the age of 4, his family moved to Chicago, Illinois, seeking better opportunities. By 13, Hoover had joined the Supreme Gangsters, a local street gang. His involvement in petty crimes escalated to more serious offenses, including assaults and shootings. Demonstrating leadership qualities, Hoover quickly rose through the ranks, eventually leading the Supreme Gangsters. In 1969, recognizing the potential for greater influence, Hoover orchestrated a merger between the Supreme Gangsters and a rival gang, the Black Disciples, led by David Barksdale. This unification resulted in the formation of the Black Gangster Disciple Nation, BGDN, aiming to consolidate power and control over Chicago's South Side. Following Barksdale's death in 1974, Hoover assumed full leadership of the BGDN. Under his command, the gang expanded its reach, controlling significant portions of Chicago's drug trade and extending its influence to other states. Despite being incarcerated at Stateville Correctional Center for a 1973 murder conviction, Hoover managed to maintain control over the gang's operations. He utilized his position within the prison system to recruit members and orchestrate criminal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, and money laundering. Hoover's ability to lead from behind bars was facilitated by a network of loyalists and a sophisticated communication system. His influence was so pervasive that prison officials often relied on him to maintain order among inmates. However, this power did not go unnoticed by law enforcement agencies. In 1973, Hoover was convicted for ordering the murder of William Pookie Young, a 19-year-old drug dealer accused of stealing from the gang. He received a sentence of 150 to 200 years and was incarcerated at Stateville Correctional Center. Despite his imprisonment, Hoover continued to manage the gang's activities, prompting a 17-year undercover investigation by federal and state authorities. In 1995, this extensive investigation culminated in Hoover's indictment on charges including conspiracy, extortion, money laundering, and running a criminal enterprise. Prosecutors alleged that the Gangster Disciples, under Hoover's leadership, had approximately 30,000 members across 35 states, generating annual revenues exceeding $100 million. In 1997, Hoover was convicted on all charges and sentenced to 6 life terms in federal prison. He was transferred to the United States Penitentiary Administrative Maximum Facility, ADX, in Florence, Colorado, known for housing the nation's most dangerous inmates. During his incarceration, Hoover began to publicly distance himself from his criminal past. He initiated a movement called Growth and Development, aiming to rebrand the Gangster Disciples as a community-focused organization. In 1996, his teachings were compiled into a book titled The Blueprint of a New Concept, From Gangster Disciple to Growth and Development. Hoover's efforts to portray himself as reformed garnered attention from various public figures and activists. Notably, rapper Kanye West became an advocate for Hoover's release, meeting with then-President Donald Trump in 2018 to discuss the matter. In 2021, West and fellow artist Drake hosted a benefit concert titled Free Larry Hoover, further amplifying calls for his clemency. Hoover's legal team pursued multiple avenues for sentence reduction, including petitions under the First Step Act, a criminal justice reform law enacted in 2018. In letters to the court, Hoover asserted that he had renounced all affiliations with the Gangster Disciples. Despite these claims, federal prosecutors remained skeptical of his transformation, citing concerns about his continued influence over gang activities. On May 28, 2025, President Donald Trump commuted Hoover's federal life sentences as part of a series of clemency actions. However, Hoover's state conviction for the 1973 murder remains in effect, and he continues to serve that sentence. The commutation does not guarantee his release, but it marks a significant development in his decades-long legal saga. Larry Hoover's life story serves as a lens through which to examine the complexities of gang culture, criminal justice, and the potential for personal transformation. His rise to power underscores the socio-economic factors contributing to gang proliferation in urban areas. His ability to lead a vast criminal enterprise from prison highlights systemic challenges within the correctional system. Finally, his public renunciation of gang life and subsequent sentence commutation provoked discussions about redemption, rehabilitation, and the criteria for clemency. While opinions on Hoover's legacy remain divided, his narrative continues to influence conversations around crime, punishment, and the possibility of change.